Hey guys, today we're going to learn how to solve absolute value equations. First, we need to understand what an absolute value is. Simply said, an absolute value is the distance the number is from zero in positive terms. So here, for example, we have the absolute value of 2. Now the absolute value is denoted by the notation of a line and then the number or an expression and another line. And what this is asking is what number is 2 away from 0? Now we know that -2 and 2 are away from 0 because just like in real life, we treat distance as always positive, or in other words, a scalar quantity. Let's start off with the foundation. Here we have the absolute value of x is equal to 8. What this is saying is that what number or numbers is 8 away from 0? Well, first we know that 8 is 8 away from 0. So x can equal to 8. And x can also equal to -8. And this is because -8 is 8 away from 0. And since we're acting like this is the distance away from 0, anything inside an absolute value will end up as positive. So if we have -8 and we take away the negative, right, because we're making it positive, it becomes 8. And that means that 8 equals 8, so it's true. Here's something else that we really need to understand. So here we have the absolute value of x, or an absolute value of any number, or a certain number, is equal to -7. Well, this equation right here has no solution. Now this is because anything that we put into an absolute value operator is equal to a positive. So any number that we put into this will become its positive. So if we put in -7 into this, because you'd think that, okay, -7 is equal to -7. Well, no, this operator would basically take away this this negative to make it that 7 is equal to -7. Now we know this isn't true. And again, if we plug in 7, then the absolute value of 7 is just 7. So we end up with 7 is equal to -7. And again, that's not true. So this means that there is no solution. All right, so now let's move on to solving some equations. Here we have the absolute value of 4x is equal to 24. Now, what we can do with this is we're going to split it up into two. We're going to split it up into 4x is equal to 24. That's one equation we're going to solve. And we're also going to solve 4x is equal to -24. Okay, so we're going to multiply the right side of the equation by -1. Now, we just solve it individually. So 4x is equal to 24. Well, what times 4 is equal to 24? That's 6. So x is going to equal to 6. Now on this side, we have 4x is equal to -24. Now, what times 4 is equal to -24? Well, that's just -6. So we have x is equal to -6. So that means that we have two answers for this equation. X is equal to 6 and x is equal to -6. All right, so now we're going to solve an equation with two terms inside the absolute value operator. So here we have 2x minus, or the absolute value of 2x minus 8 is equal to 12. Now we're going to do the exact same thing as we did last time. We're going to take whatever is inside the absolute value, so 2x minus 8, and set it equal to the original number, so 12. And then we're also going to solve for 2x minus 8 equal to whatever was on the right side multiplied by -1. So 12 times -1 is -12. Now here we're just going to solve the equation separately. So we're going to to isolate this x, we're going to bring this 8 on the other side. So if we add 8 on both sides, then we're going to get equal to 20. We'll have 2x. We did this, right? And then now we're going to have to bring this 2x, or this 2 on the other side. And this 2 is being multiplied by x, so we're going to have to divide by 2. on both sides, leaving us with x is equal to 10 as one solution. In our next solution, we're going to solve this. So here we have, we need to bring this negative 8 on the other side. We're going to add 8 on both sides. Then we get 2x is equal to negative 12 plus 8 is negative 4. And then here we're going to get, we're going to divide 2 on both sides to get rid of this 2 being multiplied by the x. Let me move everything up. And that means that we end up with x is equal to negative 4 over 2, or in other words, negative 2. So these two are answers. X is equal to 10 and x is equal to negative 2. All right, so now let's get into a larger equation. Here we have 2 multiplied to the absolute value of 3x minus 4 plus 5 is equal to 27. Now you may be inclined to just turn this absolute value into parentheses and then set it equal to 27 and then do it again and then set it equal to negative 27, but you can't do that. What we have to do is we have to isolate this absolute value function or operator. So to do that, we're going to have to get rid of this positive 5 and this multiplying of 2. First, what we're going to do is we're going to subtract 5 on both sides. So we're going to end up with 2 times the absolute value of 3x minus 4. And since we subtracted 5 on both sides, we're going to be left with 22. Now we need to get rid of this 2. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. And this is going to leave us with the absolute value of 3x minus 4 is equal to 11. Now, here is something that we can work with. Now that we have the absolute value isolated, we can just go back to our basics and solve the equation. So we're going to make it 3x minus 4 is equal to 11, and 3x minus 4, that looks like y. 3x minus 4 is equal to negative 11. Now, solving for this, we bring the negative 4 on the other side. So that becomes 15 and is equal to 3x. We divide the 3 on both sides. We end up with x is equal to 5. And on the other side, we bring this negative 4 on the other side. We're adding by 4. If you add 4 to negative 11, we get negative 7 is equal to 3x. And then we want to bring this 3 to the other side. So we're going to divide by 3 on both sides. Yeah, x is equal to negative 7 over 3. So these are two answers. X is equal to 5 and x is equal to negative 7 over 3. All right, so here we have negative 5 times the absolute value of x plus 3, or x plus 11 plus 10 is equal to 35. Now, like the last one we did, we're going to isolate the absolute value function. So we have, we're going to bring this positive 10 on the other side. That becomes 25 because we're subtracting by 10. And then we keep whatever we have, so 25. And then now we have to get rid of this negative 5 being multiplied. So what we're going to do is divide both sides by negative 5. Then we have x plus 11, or the absolute value of x plus 11. And then 25 divided by negative 5 is equal to negative 5. So like we learned in our foundations, or the first few slides, we learned that an absolute value isolated cannot equal a negative number. So this means that we have no solution whatsoever. That last example was just something that you might see as a trick on any of your tests or quizzes or worksheets to just throw you off. Well, now we have the absolute value of an expression is equal to a polynomial. So what we're going to do is we're going to solve it like everything else we've solved. We've isolated our absolute value, and then we're going to multiply the other side by negative 1 and keep it the same. I'll show you what I mean. So we have x minus 15, and we're going to keep it the same, so x plus 2. And we're also going to solve for x minus 15 is equal to negative x plus 2. and that's all being multiplied by the negative. Let's solve this side first. So we're going to bring the x on the other side. So if we subtract by x on both sides, you're going to see that these two x's cancel out. A positive x and a negative x, they cancel out. That means that we're left with negative 15 is equal to 2. Now, we know that negative 15 is not equal to 2. They're not the same number. That means that for this side of the example, there's no solution. Now, let's look at the other side. We have x minus 15 is equal to x plus 2 all times negative 1. So if we can just distribute that out, we get negative x minus 2 is equal to x minus 15. And now you can see that we can actually solve this, unlike the other one, because when we bring this negative x to this side, we're gonna get 2x since we're adding x on both sides. So x plus x is 2x, and then we're bringing this negative 15 on the other side, so we're adding 15. 15 minus 2 is 13. So we're gonna get x is equal to 13 over 2, since we divided this 2x by 2. And this is our only answer. For our final example, we have the absolute value of 7x plus 2 is equal to the absolute value of 4x plus 11. Now, this is extremely simple. What we're going to do for our first equation is we're going to write down our equation without the absolute values. We're going to have 7x plus 2 is equal to 4x plus 11. And our second equation will be the expressions without the absolute value. But one side we're going to multiply by negative 1. I'm going to choose the right side because I don't know, I just feel comfortable that way. So we're going to have times negative. So we're going to be left with 7x plus 2 is equal to 4x plus 11, and 7x plus 2 is equal to 4x plus 11 all times negative 1. So let's solve this equation first. We want to bring this positive 4x on the other side. That means we're going to subtract 4x, leaving us with 3x. And we're bringing this positive 2 on the other side, meaning we're subtracting by 2. And that means that 11 minus 2 is equal to 9. So we get 3x is equal to 9. Well, what times 3 is equal to 9? Well, that's just 3. That means that for one solution, x is equal to 3. Now let's do the other side. Let's distribute this negative, so we get minus 4x minus 4x minus 11, because we're distributing a negative to both terms, is equal to 7x plus 2. Now let's just solve it as we normally do. We're bringing this negative 4x on the other side. We're adding 4x, meaning we get 11x. And then we're subtracting this 2x on both sides, meaning that negative 11 minus 2 is equal to minus 13. And we divide this 11x by 11 to get rid of this 11. And we end up with x is equal to 13 over 11. That's our final answer. Thank you for making it to the end. If you have any questions, email me at nirk15@gmail.com or ask in the comments below. I also run a Google Classroom, which includes worksheets, videos, and other resources that can help you build your math skills. The code is right here, A5MUEHD. And if you would like a video on a certain math topic, please ask in the comments below. Thank you and have a good week.